What's up, dudes and dudettes here? And my name's Scyushi, and we're back as more Trove. I'm a dad. I'm not actually recording this at the moment that my son is born. This is a video that I've pre-recorded and prepared so that I can drop it to let you guys know this is what's up. Here, let me just stand here in the club world while we talk about this and get real. Suffice to say, what is most likely going on with me in real life right now is I'm going back and forth between the hospital, where my wife and baby are, and coming home to either post this video or just get things and supplies for her while she's in the hospital. When I do end up coming home with the baby and the wife, we have to slowly introduce it to the dogs, and it's going to be something that completely changes our household ecosystem. The biggest thing that we have learned through all of our rigorous studies with baby stuff, because neither of us has been a parent before, is that we are not going to be getting much sleep. Most of all her. Basically, the baby has to be fed like every 2 to 3 hours or something like that. And being the man, I can't really help with that, at least until the baby can be bottle fed, which isn't right away. What this means is I have to dedicate 100% of myself to my wife right now. I am the support. I mean, I'd be doing all the dishes, laundry, household cleaning, everything, while also taking baby and keeping baby safe and protected and loved while the wife gets some sleep between feedings. All the while, I'm also planning on recording some videos on my phone that I will ultimately compile into various blogs. I'm aiming to have a vlog out every week, but no promises on that. Suffice to say that I don't know how long this period of craziness and unorthodox sleeping schedule is going to last, so I've stocked up a ton of videos for you guys. Members of the channel have already seen the slew of 20 plus videos that I already have posted to members. It's not that I'm trying to lock content away from you guys that are public on the channel or anything like that. It's literally just, here's videos for members that are scheduled to go public over the following weeks. I may have gone a little bit overboard because I have videos stocked up until the end of March. That's right, there's gonna be at least one video, sometimes two, every single day throughout this month. And all of them have been pre-recorded. So as far as your regular watching of my content, that won't change. The main difference will be a lack of live streams and also a shift in the content that I'm sending to you guys. If I can be perfectly transparent with you guys about my Trove content, this is a game that I've been playing for 10 plus years. And frankly speaking, I've done pretty much everything that I can do as far as a content creator. What this means is that a lot of my videos are treading old ground. Either it's just updated tutorials for the new year, or in some cases, a more defined version of an older tutorial. But some videos are meant to last, like my Neon Wings guide is still relevant, even though I made that years and years and years ago. There's no reason for me to do a new one. But for whatever reason, with the way that the YouTube algorithm works and all of that magic, it basically means that I'm making most of, if not my entire living, off of my Trove content alone, which is something that I struggle with in my day-to-day because there's just so many other games that I find more interesting, and I've always considered myself a variety content creator. It's just that my channel hasn't been established or known for being a variety content creator. Because back in the day, my brother and I played all sorts of Mario games, and those took off. But eventually my brother moved on to, doing his own thing. And since then, I just casually played Trove while also covering all sorts of other games. Trove just happened to be the game that was the breakout series, mostly due to the fact that when it finally released on Steam and consoles, I already had hundreds, if not thousands of videos. I always view YouTube kind of like the giant ocean, and with my Trove videos, I'm playing with a huge net. Like, you Google anything related to Trove and one of my videos will pop up. Because of this, it's been difficult to break off from Trove. I'm not necessarily saying that I'm trying to break off from making Trove videos. It's more so disappointing and discouraging when I see other videos not perform nearly as well, despite the fact that I personally find them more interesting. More interesting either because it's a new shiny game, or just because I personally am a lot more inspired or put a lot more effort into those videos. You'll notice that anytime I end up doing a full playthrough nowadays, if I'm not live streaming it, I'll usually play through the entire game at 10 plus hours and cut that down to an hour long, if not less. That is a huge project for me. But if I'm being honest, I think that overall it performs better to have one video like that than multiple videos with less cuts that are going to slowly trickle off as far as the algorithm is concerned. That said, what's the funnest for me? Live streaming. I love live streaming because it means that I can directly interact with you guys no matter what game I'm playing. But sometimes the algorithm is mean to me, like when I'm streaming Monster Hunter Wilds and nobody shows up because nobody gets notified. Again, hugely discouraging. Makes me just play the game myself, record it, and chop it down to be something more interesting. Because as much as I know with 100% certainty it's the algorithm's fault and YouTube itself crushes creativity, the fact still remains that I am a human being and I can't help but blame myself. What did I do wrong? Why are people not interested in this? Am I not interesting? This is something that all content creators deal with. But then I remind myself the reason I'm doing YouTube in the first place is because I love it. And I also love creating Trove content for you guys. But okay, let's get into what the schedule is going to look like over this month. The plan is that there's going to be a Trove video one day, the next day will be an indie game, and then the day after that will be a Path of Exile video. And if that Path of Exile video happens to be really short, there will probably be another indie game releasing on that same day. But then for the fourth day, there will either be a voxel indie game or a Trove video. Suffice to say, you will have to wait at least 2, if not 3 days between Trove videos. And I would encourage you, if you really care about me as a person and content creator, to watch my other videos. I've put a ton of effort into all of the videos that I'm about to post to you guys. And a lot of them are old plans that I talked about at the beginning of 2025 that are finally coming to fruition. So you guys might remember a couple months back in a Luxian video, I talked about how I had this series of games you never heard of, basically playing a bunch of different games all compiled into one video. I really enjoyed making those videos, but they did not perform well. Main reason being is because, again, my channel isn't established or known for that. So what I did for a lot of the videos over the following weeks was systematically go back into those compilation videos and rip out the game that I thought was interesting enough to have its own dedicated video. Not only is this going to be better for the YouTube algorithm to pick it up, but I've also been in contact with a lot of indie devs lately. You see, by covering all of these different random, obscure little games, I end up getting in contact with the developers in most cases. Either by me reaching out to them to get a copy of their game, or them reaching out to me just to say, oh man, this was cool. And what inspired this idea was that I had a developer reach out to me that has one of my most hyped indie games of the year called Angeline Era. They basically were just like, hey bro, I saw that you hearted one of my tweets. Do you think that this game would be interesting? To which I replied, yeah, it's interesting. I already covered it, but it was in a compilation video. So you see, that developer didn't even know that I did cover it because I didn't have it as its own separate thing. Another thing that's a little bit disappointing to me anyways, is that now that I'm posting this video, it means no more Monster Hunter videos. There's a very small chance that I've stockpiled a couple extra Monster Hunter videos for you guys, but the only video that I'm trying to really get done before my son is born right now is the Monster Hunter Wilds review. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of a staycation and get ready for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Side note, for those of you interested, I will be streaming Assassin's Creed Shadows on the 18th, because there's a chance that I'll get access to the game a couple days earlier to its release. Of course, I can't 100% promise you guys anything because I don't know what's going on with real life that day. On top of all of that, later in the month, Mariko's mom is supposed to be visiting us from Japan. So while you'll probably see some of that in the vlogs to come, again, it means I'm barely gonna be spending any time actually on my computer. With all of that said, thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for your continued support. Your loving comments mean the world to me. I'm so honored and privileged to be able to do this full time, but to also see the impact that I've made on your lives in my own small way. I've always prided myself on the fact that my content never gets into the negative, dirty toxicness that is the internet or real life. These videos are meant as a distraction from the day-to-day, but it doesn't mean that I'm not willing to dig deep and be honest and open with you guys about myself, my life, and what's happening. This is by no means me saying I'm moving on, okay? I'm obviously gonna keep doing YouTube until I'm an old man. And who knows, eventually in like 10 years, I might start doing co-op videos with my son. But even if I'm not going anywhere, I feel like this is going to be a chapter of my life that's closing in favor of a new chapter that's opening. And I'm excited to share that story with you guys and gals over the following years.